Hey guys, how you doing? Thank you very much for clicking on another video. I really appreciate it. I'm out here in the northern Snowy Mountains, and hopefully today's the day where I turn the luck around and I catch myself a fish. It's been a while. I haven't had much luck of late, so I'm really looking forward to going out and throwing a line in. I'm basically on a ridge overlooking one of the larger dams in the mountains. From what I understand, there's a good population of both rainbow and brown trout that have been stocked into this dam. So yeah, fingers crossed we can find at least one of them. I haven't been to this part of the world before, and so when I was looking at the maps and looking at the imagery, what I thought I might do was to come up with, there's a ridge that follows the dam, park the car there and then walk down. Now I've kind of done that, but unfortunately today it's really quite windy. And so it's not gonna be very pleasant to camp in the wind. The prevailing winds will come this way. But also, as I'm casting into the dam, that's going to affect how far I can cast out. The wind pushes the lures and the bait back. So I think what I might do, I've spied a nice little bay on the other side of the dam. So I think I might get back in the car, drive around, and then see if I can find a place to park the car and walk in and find a nice secluded spot to camp, and then wander down to the lake and have a bit of a fish. There's also a beautiful valley on the other side of this ridge where the river flows out of the dam, and it's really, really beautiful. But I think it's going to be a lot more challenging to fish there. I can't fly fish, so I've just got to use lures and casts, etc. So I think I'm going to try and find a spot on the other side. It's a bit more sheltered, set up camp, and then try my luck at fishing. I've made it to the other side of the lake, had a quick bite to eat. I've changed the rigging on my line, and I couldn't help just having a couple of very quick sneaky casts when I got here, and I've already had a bite. I think I just pulled too quickly, so I'm going to give it a second and then get right back into it. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do tonight. When I drove in, unexpectedly there's a sign that said no camping above the high water mark, and I was planning on camping in the trees, finding a nice little secluded spot. You know, I can definitely camp here. I can camp right next to the car, and I'll probably need to use the car actually to tie up my tarp and my little bug net, but I don't know how excited I am about that, to be honest. So I'm just gonna have a bit of a fish and see what happens, and then we'll figure out the plan for tonight later on. Oh, check this out, guys. This is why you should always take care of your fishing line and not abandon it or leave it behind. I've got a yabby that's completely caught up in some old fishing line just on the bank here. You can see it's really stuck around one claw there, so I'm just going to keep trying to, as gently as I can. But he's still got the stick I gave him. Maybe I'll give this one a stick too. There we go. There we go. All right, buddy. Yeah, that's why you gotta take all your fishing line with you. I'm gonna take this stuff home. Well, hello again. Not much is happening, to be honest. It's been a pretty cruisy afternoon. It's about 5 o'clock, so I've been here for about 2 hours. I'm not really having much luck. I had a couple of good bites early on, and then I saw one trout chase the lure into shore, but just couldn't seal the deal. So they're definitely here, but I haven't had much action the last hour or so. So what I'm thinking I might do is I might head back to the car. It's about a couple hundred meters back that way. I have to walk through the thick mud, unfortunately. And then I might just suss out if there's any sort of flat ground near where the car is that I could set up if I want to stay here. I probably won't set up until after dark, I don't think. I haven't completely decided if I'm going to camp here or not. To be honest, it's not really my kind of place I like to go. It is pretty nice though, looking at the dam and the mountains, but I was kind of hoping to camp in some trees, but I'm also pretty damn tired. It's been a really busy couple of months really, and so I don't know if I have any energy to go and find another campsite. So I think I might just suss out what's around there, and then hopefully by that time it'll be pretty much prime fishing time, which should be, I don't know, maybe the last couple of hours of daylight. So yeah, I think that's the plan. Alrighty, it's about 6:30, so I've just come back from the car. I've got some more stuff with me, so yeah, I'm gonna go for gold here and try and catch myself a fish. I'm back at the spot where I had a bit of luck earlier on, where I had a couple of bites and I saw one of the trout, I think it was a brown trout, follow the lure in. I'm on a bit of a rocky little point. It's not really a headland, it's too small for that, but it's just a little rocky point. It's probably got the best structure and accessibility to the dam, and it also, because it has a few rocks, it's less muddy. It's nice to spend a day by the water, and even if I don't end up catching anything, it's been good to get some fresh air and yeah, soak in some of this pretty cool scenery. So I've been fishing mostly on yellow Tassie Devil lures. I've had a lot of luck on these in the past, and they're the ones I got the bites on, so yeah, we'll give those a go. Fish are certainly active. I can hear them and see them coming out of the water. This mud's pretty nasty. Well, I'm really not having much luck here at all. I can hear that the fish are active. I can see that there's movement in the water, but they're not liking my lures, so the only thing I can really think of, I've tried a few different types of lures. The only thing I can really think of is I've got some power bait. It's basically this fluorescent goo that you kind of form around a hook. I've just seen a trout jump out of the water, unbelievable. So yeah, I'm going to give that a go, see if they might take that. Well, you're not going to be surprised to hear I've had zero luck since I last spoke to you. It's getting a bit ridiculous actually. I can see every 20 seconds there's a fish jumping out of the water. I'm clearly not a very good fisherman, but I also probably don't have what they're after, so if I could fly fish maybe I'd have a lot more luck. But anyway, it's getting cool, the sun's dropped down, it's about 7:45. I think I'm going to spend maybe another 15 minutes here and then I'm going to head back and figure out how to set up my tarp using the car. And then this little new bug net I've got, which I'm pretty keen to test out. So yeah, anyway, another few casts and then I'll call it and go have some rice with that trout. Very disappointing. It's worse than golf sometimes, guys, seriously. Last few casts, but I'm switching out to the only lure I've caught a fish on this year. This is a surface lure. It's definitely not a traditional trout lure, but I'm going to give it a go anyway because I've tried everything else. That's it, I'm calling it, I'm conceding defeat. It's getting quite cool actually, now the sun's gone down. So I've only got maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes of light left, so I'm going to scurry back to the car and find a flat spot and try and set up a rudimentary shelter. Well, I'm not going to say I'm not disappointed, but it's not a bad way to spend the weekend, and any day in the bush or camping is a pretty good day. So I thought I'd have a nice camp up in the tree line overlooking the dam with freshly caught fish, but instead I'm going to be eating rice by my car. So you know, you make the best of it. It's still been an awesome day. I'm exploring new country. I'm outside. It's pretty good. Tell you what, I feel so much more relaxed than I did this morning. Work and life has just been crazy, and it's really difficult to find the time to get out and make a video. But yeah, I'm really glad I did. I certainly needed a bit of fresh air, that's for sure. Oh man, you won't be able to see it on the GoPro, but there's a mob of about 30 or 40 feral horses. They're all through here, unfortunately. They're absolutely beautiful animals, but yeah, there's a lot of them. was going to put the tarp up first and then put my little bug net, which is new, which I'm pretty keen to show you guys. You probably have to wait till morning until there's enough light to see it. Oh my goodness, these horses are amazing. Geez, I'm glad I've got the car to sleep next to. I really don't fancy getting trampled by horses, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna put the bug net up first. It's gonna be right next to the car, and then hopefully I can just stretch the tarp out enough that it covers it completely. So the one thing I need is a stick. I need a stick about, I don't know, a metre high. There's a few trees up there, so I'll just quickly dash off up there with my headlamp and see if I can't find myself a stick. So finally underneath the tarp, everything's set up. I've got my awesome new bug net. This is a Rab Element solo bug net. It's really minimalist, it's pretty small. You can see I've got just a stick holding it up, and I've got a couple of candle lanterns there for a bit of ambiance. I've basically just strung the tarp off the car, and I forgot to pack additional pegs, but I quickly bushcrafted up some, so that worked out pretty well. I've got it tied out a fair way out. I'm not going to bother showing you tonight. I'll wait till the morning when there's light, and then yeah, have a proper look, and I'll give you a tour through the campsite. Frustrated there's no trout, but yeah, glad that I stayed here. Glad that I am car camping for a change. Makes a nice change. Yeah, it's worked out pretty well. It's all part of the game. You just have to adapt and make the best of it. And yeah, there was a few people fishing before. A few people driving by during the day. This is not totally remote. It's certainly not like my normal trips, but I'm the only one here at the moment. So yeah, all things considered, it's turned out pretty well. So I was going to cook up some rice and some asparagus and hopefully a nice trout, but that hasn't gone to plan, and to be honest, I can't be bothered cooking rice. So I've got a bread roll. I'm going to make a sandwich, and then ooh, hello beer. I just found a beer. That's awesome. I'm going to have a beer and a sandwich and then go to bed. Alright, so I'm going to have some cheddar cheese with cracked pepper, some pepperoni, some Turkish bread. Oh, and I found another beer. So I'm going to have 2 beers and a sandwich. That's going to be amazing. Okay, that's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. Alright. I've got 2 beers, both from Quiet Deeds. My local bottle shop put these aside for me when they got them in. So I've got the Quiet Deeds Merry Mashers. It's a Slenderman Ipa. So, cheers guys. That is fantastic. Wow. So, yeah, no fire tonight. There's no fire ban here, and there's no fire ban in this national park. But it's been so dry, and it's been really windy today. Plus, I'm really tired that, yeah, I'm just not going to do it. Anyway, the candle lanterns are nice. Just a little bit of spinach. Oh, it's no freshly caught trout, but it's going to have to do tonight. I wish the tarp was a bit taller. another 10 centimetres and it would be perfect. I wish I could show you how incredible the stars are. It's pretty cool. This bug net's working out a treat. I love tents. Tents are great, but there's something about sleeping under a tarp that is just awesome. The visibility you have, the connection you have to nature and to the country you're on, it's pretty cool. For me, just sitting here under the tarp looking at the stars, yeah, it's really special. And then being able to lay in my sleeping bag and still see that'd be pretty cool. Well, good morning. As you can see, I've woken up to a rather misty and foggy day. I'm sure it's just the morning. It must have rolled in late last night, because when I went to bed, the stars were absolutely amazing. It's about 7 o'clock, I think. Yeah, sorry I didn't say goodnight last night. The wind picked up and I had to spend a bit of time readjusting the tarp. And by the time I'd finished that, I was pretty tired, so I just went to bed. But yeah, I thought I'd give you a quick tour of the setup. Unusual as it is for me to use a car as part of the anchoring system, but yeah, let's have a look. So I've basically just tied as many points off to the car as I can. I've got roof racks and bike racks, and I've even utilised one of the windscreen wipers down here. I forgot to pack tent pegs, so I had to make some, and I only had one stick, and it was pretty thick. So I ended up just splitting it down, and they worked really well. So I've got a whole bunch of those, just tying out the tarp and giving it a nice bit of tension. And here is the new bug net. It's pretty cool. It's as small as you'd want to go. It's the Rab Element Solo 1 bug net. It's not a custom one. It's commercially available. But yeah, it's just big enough to fit in pretty comfortably. I didn't have any issues of being up against the mesh or anything like that, and had a beautiful view last night where I could look at the stars out of this way, which was really cool. You can see I've just propped it up with a stick. It's actually designed to be used as a walking pole, but I think what I'm going to do mostly is get some bungee cord and some clips, and I'll just hang it from underneath the ridgeline. So it's definitely time for coffee now. I'm going to cook up some breakfast too, and then I don't think I'll go for fish. I've actually got to be back in town at a pretty reasonable hour today, so I think I'm just going to pack up and get out of here. It's at least 3 hours in the car, so yeah, a long way to come for just a bit over 24 hours. Probably my favourite part of the day is coffee time. I do have this awesome new flat pack Tetra Drip coffee filter, or coffee dripper. I got it from the awesome guys at Tier Gear. I think this one's made in Japan. It weighs 12 grams. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So basically it just clips together. It's quite a small volume. But that's on the old excellent titanium mug, which I'm just absolutely loving. And you can pick those up at Out and Goods. Two great Aussie companies. Oh dear. I've got a really main good coffee filter. So the idea is basically the coffee filter paper goes in the top. I'll need to get some smaller filters that actually fit this one. There we go, that'll do. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this one is because it is so small, it does take a little while. It's not just, you can't just pour in one amount and wait for it to filter. But it doesn't take very long, so it's all good. All the mist is certainly starting to set in again. It's interesting. I thought it was looking like it was burning off, but yeah, it's starting to get thicker again. Oh, it smells good. But yeah, for a 12 gram way to make coffee, this is pretty cool. Oh, so good. All right, for breakfast I'm going to make up, I've got a leftover bit of Turkish bread. I've got some pepperoni, a couple of mushrooms, and because I thought I was going to be eating a lot of trout, which turned out to be a little bit optimistic, I've got some butter somewhere too. I actually bought I found a tiny little chopping board, which is perfect for this sort of stuff, and I left it at home, so you're going to have to wince through another episode of me cutting stuff on my titanium plate. There we go, half. Oh, that butter smells good. That smells really good. And just a little bit of thyme. Always nice in the mushies. And then yeah, some slices of pepperoni, which I'll also cook up. Just turn that down a bit. Oop. It's a fine balance. Oh, it's smelling so good. Alright, I'm going to start assembling my sandwich. Oh, crispy pepperoni. Doesn't get any better. Oh, that was close. That was too close. The view's gone. That mist is getting thicker and thicker. That's a pretty good breakfast actually. Certainly not one of the healthy ones I've had out in the bush, but pretty damn good nonetheless. As I was eating breakfast, the feral horses, or brumbies as they're more commonly known, put on a bit of a show. Now, they're a pretty contentious animal in these parts of the world. They're an absolutely magnificent animal, and a lot of people have very strong views about them because they are horses and they've been here for a long time, but there's no doubt that they also cause a lot of damage to the environment, and yeah, it's a shame to see them in such large numbers out here. Unfortunately, I think it's time to pack up and head out of here. yeah, it's been a cool trip. It's been different to what I planned it to be, but I've had a lot of fun, and it's been great to explore new country. I didn't catch a fish, but hey, you know, you put the hard work in, you learn what doesn't work, and then you keep trying, and eventually something will. So, you know, that's not a bad thing either. But yeah, also just to go car camping again. I haven't been car camping for ages, and I've actually got some really cool camp cookware. I've got a Bidgie Barbie, which is an old sort of wood-fired barbecue, and yeah, got some a hillbilly camp oven too. So I'd be pretty keen to yeah, come out in the future and do a bit of a cook-up using those. So this isn't a bad spot actually. I might come back here with my sort of camp cook-up setup, and yeah, once the fire danger reduces a bit. So yeah, I don't know what sort of video this is going to be. It's probably a relatively short one, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. It's been yeah, I've had a lot of fun. Really appreciate it if you liked it, if you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't, maybe please consider subscribing. It certainly helps the channel out, and yeah, it's been cool to see the channel growing. Yeah, for me, it's just it's a good excuse to get out here and spend some time in nature. So anyway, until next time, guys, thanks very much for watching. Hope everything is well where you are, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys. So a quick bit of bonus footage for those who have stuck around at the end of the video. I thought you might like to see the bug net in a bit more detail and the tarps down. It's pretty cool, I'm happy with it. It's pretty minimal design. As you can see, there's not a lot to it, and it's pretty much all mesh. But what I really do like is it has a nice tub floor, so it means I don't have to carry a ground sheet anymore, which is great. Actually has a couple of little poles, very small poles that are just built in there. They just keep the top of the toe box open. You can see it's just big enough for what you need. Yeah, I really like it. But I think what I'll do is I'll, yeah, as I was saying before, get a bit of bungee cord and attach it to a couple of points along the line, and that way I can just clip it underneath the ridge line under a tarp, and then I won't need to worry about a stick. Ta-da! Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.